Okay, I just wanted to give everyone a better view. Again, when I was pouring the water in, I poured it into this chamber. This is where the bulkheads are. You can see them on the back side here on the back of the label. This baffle maintains water above where, like, this would be your U-tube on a, I think it's eShops style. This would be the chamber down here that you would need to fill with water on those. What's going to happen is as the tank water flows into this first chamber through the teeth, the water pressure will push it up and over this. The pump is strictly just to make sure that there is no air trapped up here. If there's air up here, the water level is just going to stop. It's not going to go anywhere. So, but it will keep pulling air from this side if you don't put water in here first. This rubber tubing you see, this pulls the air out and it dumps it down into here. I have it stuck underwater so that way it bubbles out, but if there's for any reason like back pressure or the pump shuts off or anything, it keeps it underwater to keep it siphoned as well. So that way there's no way that their air can leak into the top of the overflow. We're going to go ahead and power on the overflow now. I just have it set into a strip here. You notice that's the only thing that's plugged in right now. So, see how it goes. See how it's pulling the air out of there. The reason it's still bubbling is because I have it set high enough to where the teeth are higher than the water level. So we're going to drop this down. This will only overflow for a short period of time, by the way, because I don't have the return pump on yet. It's not going to be able to return any water up here, so it's only going to drain down to as low as the bottom of the teeth. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to lower this down as low as it can go. I'm having issues doing this one-handed. Around, by the way, so it stands on the bigger section rather than the small section, because every time it would shift or something like that, it would screech and it sounded like nails on a chalkboard. Alright, see how the water's starting to flow in through the teeth? You can hear the pump changing. It's actually starting to pull water in. Go over here. Pulling the water out, and we have siphon, and it will continue to pull so long as the tank water is down to that point, or the teeth. So let's see, where are my leaks? Because there's always one in every crowd. I don't see any. Let's go to the front side. Well, I'm going to have to inspect these a little better, so I'm going to put you guys on the tripod. And the great thing about video is that you guys didn't see me panicking for the last 20 minutes, going back and forth retightening bulkheads and retightening unions and stuff like that. So basically it looks like I'm a hell of a lot more confident than I am. So, alright. there's no quick leaks. So, alright, what I'm going to do is, you can see the water level is drained down to the bottom of where the teeth are. I'm not going to run my water level this low. I'll raise it back up to where I want the water level to be, just by turning the thumb screws back the opposite direction. I'm just trying to add as little water to the system as possible to create the overflow, so that way if I do end up with an issue, I'm not dumping 50 gallons of water on the floor, I'm dumping 3 or 4. So, but again, I'm not going to have the water level this low. It'll be, you know, up above the plastic lip. So I'm going to start adding, using my good old trusty MaxiJet pump from my mix station here that was going, add a little bit of water to the system and see how the return pump does. So, I was having a little technical difficulty. Apparently the camera kept dying and I didn't know it. So, to let you know what was going on, there is a horrible sound coming from the overflow, and that's because it's sucking air from the water level being too low. I'm going to turn it on in a minute. Hopefully you're going to be able to hear it. That's the sound I'm going to hear if the mag drive ever fails. What I've been doing while playing with the camera is I transferred some freshly mixed salt water that I started yesterday from my mix bin, my brew, over to the Sump. I just used, you know, a water mover pump. I use the cheap MaxiJets because they're like 20 bucks, and that's pretty much what they're good for. I actually added a little bit more than I realized, because even after I shut off the pump, oh, look at that, gravity works, and the siphon kept pulling the water. So hopefully we don't really overflow the system, because this is going to suck otherwise. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the overflow, and we're going to plug in the mag 18, and hopefully we survive and the wife doesn't know about any mishaps. Do you hear the gurgling sound? I honestly don't know if you're going to be able to, but it literally sounds like an air stone that you've unplugged the air stone from. That's what it sounds like. So, but because it's in that plastic overflow box, it just resonates more. So, if anybody's religious, now would be the time. Hail Mary, full of grace, whatever, you know. Into the U channel, so it was breaking its own siphon almost immediately. So anyway, here we go. Let's try this again. Round 2. Okay, we're filling up. Looks like the siphon's being pulled. I'll bring you guys up here so you can see. You see where the water level is at. It actually rose higher than that before until the siphon was completely pulled out right there. So, see the water level is staying pretty low. Oh, and for anybody that wants to make a comment about my green water or my dirty tank, bite me. I'm just going to go with Sass's idea of it should be filthy and dirty and let nature take its course. That's my excuse, at least. So, alright, let's go take a look at the overflow. Oh, for those of you who caught it, that is my pod hotel that I just put in there too. One of the many projects I've been doing over the last 3 days. It's just PVC pipe, holes drilled in it with some of the aquarium batting put inside. Thanks to Juan for giving me the idea and kind of walking me through what to do. I just stuffed it in there and buried it down. What I did was I added my pods by pouring the bag of pods that I bought down inside the hotel, and then putting the end of the cap back on and putting it down. The caps are not PVC cemented on, so you see the mandarin and the clowns hanging out in the corner. Alright, let's see what's going on over here. Alright, Glare City, gotta love it. Okay, you see the water pouring down into there, through the teeth, up and over through the channel. You can see the air is being maintained out, down through that channel, up through there. That's the end of the hose for the outlet of the pump, because this is actually dumping water the whole time. It's the aqua lifter pump. This is what you would use for dosing. Down through the bulkheads. I don't have the pre-filters or anything on there because this is all test, so... Alright, and let's see where my leaks are. Checking the floor. We do have some puddles. Question is that puddles from an overflow, or is that puddles from splashing water? Let's go around to the return side and see. So it looks like the sump level is maintaining pretty well. I do apparently have some issues with micro bubbles down in the sump. It does not look like they're blowing up into the main tank, but at least they're down here. I do have the screen on the Mag 18 just to make sure that it blocks out some bubbles, but whatever. First run, we'll deal with that when we get to it. Let's see. Actually, I don't think that's coming from the hose. I think that water that you see drip down the front there, I think that is actually from me lifting off the bio wheel to get it out of the way. I think that's what happened was when I was pouring all the water out from that. So, I don't see anything actively dripping, and it wouldn't drip from there. It would drip from down here where the bottom of the Y would be. And there's no water there. So, looks to me like the system is running. So I'll take some pictures and videos of everything once I have it all arranged and running at the level I like. I'm going to play with the bulkheads and the screens and the little vent tubes to make sure I don't get this slurping sound, but all in due good time. So I guess that's it for the test run. Yay! I can tell the wife that I didn't flood the house. It's always a good thing when that happens.